We're building it, going on week 30, I believe. Maybe week 31. I forgot in my notes. Ain't that funny? Been just busy trying to build. Mind, body, spirit, and all that good stuff. What's up? Welcome to my channel. C.Smiley here. Just chilling outside. Just hanging out, doing our thing. Got my beautiful Virtue right there. Say hi, Virtue. Could you say hi? Hi. We're just doing our thing. Chilling. Hot day. Did some good work. Stabilizing a floor joist. A couple of them. And that's what we're doing. So let's get to this and see what's going on.
Attack those dreams.
I'm attacking them.
Attack their desires.
Attack my desires.
Attack the person that you know you can be, but not this.
Yeah, I'm letting you guys know this is the first time I've listened to this, so my reaction to this, even though it's not a reaction channel, yeah, is real. My real mindset of if this guy was actually talking to me, which I feel like he is sometimes. Word, what's up, Virtue? Don't be worrying, come up in my crib.
Other person that you know you shouldn't be, and that's that lazy individual that resides inside of you right now. And it's telling you not to get up, not to go forward, not to get better. Is that who you really are?
No.
I don't think so. Tough times will happen, and you just gotta get tougher. Let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, we've all had those days where we just not feeling it. We don't want to get out of bed. We don't want to go to work. We don't want to go to the gym. We want to wait for someone to save us, to make us better when we have the power within ourselves. Throughout life, no matter what you do, who you are, where you come from, there are going to be some things that you may not even understand why it's happening to you in your life right now. Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? But I'm here to let you know, there's a season for this, and there is a reason for this. Not everything is going to go the way you want. That I do know. But you have to stand fast, and you've got to keep pushing forward. Don't get lost in the abyss of giving up. Just because it's not working for you right now doesn't mean you stop working. Do you have the strength? Do you have the mindset to release this lazy mentality? Don't wait for something to happen. You make it happen. Lazy is not going to get that weight off your chest. Lazy is not going to help you to drop those pounds. Lazy is not going to help you to go that extra mile. Lazy is not your last name. Do not hold yourself back from your true potential. What you possess inside, make this day count. Make every rep count. Make every breath that you take count. How much pain can you endure? You're going to feel like you can't carry on. You're going to feel that sense of emptiness, that sense of weakness. And not everyone is ready for it. Not everyone is built for it. But what about you?
This year is not just another page in your life. This is the chapter where everything changes.
How long are you going to keep lying to yourself? How many more years are you going to tell the same damn story?
If someone told you that your life could look different in 12 months, would you believe them?
Not always.
How much longer are you going to look in the mirror and pretend you're satisfied when you know damn well you're not?
What mirror?
Because here's the truth.
I'm tired of looking at myself.
2026 doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care about who doubted you, who left you, who hurt you, who slept on you, or who quit you. 2026 is a blank page, a brand new canvas, but you're the one holding the pen.
Too many people are thinking that tomorrow is waiting for them, as if tomorrow owes you something. You cannot afford to waste time on doing nothing with your life.
No more waiting for permission. You do not need applause to begin. You need courage. You were not created to be average. You were created to shake the ground when you walk. You want a different year? Then you must become a different you. 2026 is the year you rise above every setback, every heartbreak, every lie, every doubt. The year you speak with a voice that was once silent. The year you build what you were once afraid to imagine.
The only thing standing between who you are and who you can become is a decision.
This is the year that my hands build what my heart carries. This is the year that my feet enter into what my prayers pursue. This is the year that my eyes will see what my faith has been fighting for. And by the end of this year, you won't recognize me. You will not understand me. This is the year.
This is the year. They say it's the year.
I want to ask you something. You are always supporting others. You are always showing up for everyone else. When is the last time you wholeheartedly showed up for yourself?
Throughout life, ladies and gentlemen, you have to know that there are so many amazing possibilities for you. But you got to believe it, and you got to stand on it.
This year is not about perfection. It's about ownership. It's about taking responsibility for your life like you've never taken responsibility before.
Change doesn't come find you. You have to go get it. You have to take it.
Because working is a part of growing. And you got to be prepared to put in the work.
The year everything changed for me wasn't the year I got blessed. It was the year I got fed up. Fed up with my excuses. Fed up with my doubts. Fed up with shrinking myself to fit into places God was trying to pull me out of.
2026 is not going to just hand you the life you want. It's going to test you. It's going to push you. It's going to hit you. It's going to see if you're serious this time.
That discovery only comes when you are willing to take the risk of going too far. I don't care if you've been knocked down and knocked out. If you are breathing, there's always another round. So get up.
Because believing in yourself, that right there is the most powerful force in the world.
So declare it now before the year even begins. 2026 is my year. My year of change. My year of discipline. My year of elevation.
Let 2026 be your year of change. It's your time. It's your turn. Let's go.
I'm done living small. I'm done making excuses. I'm done being afraid of my own potential. I'm done pretending I don't know what I want. This year is not about perfection. It's about ownership. It's about taking responsibility for your life like you've never taken responsibility before.
Don't wait for the clock to strike midnight. Start becoming that person today. Because the version of you the world is about to meet, that person is unstoppable. You got rooms to step through. You got contracts to sign. You got people to meet. You got cities, regions, states, nations, bloodlines to change, lives to impact. I want to challenge you to step across your own invisible line, to do the thing you've postponed, to make the change that you have avoided. Because the future doesn't belong to the hesitant, to the passive, to the cautious. The future belongs to the bold, the courageous, the faithful.
Don't waste time. Don't give up on your life. Find the purpose and the reason, and do everything possible to make life worth your while.
I believe in me. Say it again. I believe in me. Because once you truly believe that, there's nothing, and I mean nothing, that can stop you.
The world hasn't even seen the real you yet. They healed you, to focus you, the unshakable you. And when that version of you shows up, nothing, no fear, no past, no enemy will be able to stop you.
Your moment wasn't behind you. Your moment is right in front of you. And 2026 is the year you take it. But only if you're willing to do one thing that scares most people. Change.
Is there any better feeling than being locked in?
No.
I'm gonna tell them motherfuckers out here that we're here to fucking win. This is my fucking time!
You gotta want it, you gotta work it, then you gotta win it. Now, how bad do you want it? Because if you want it bad enough, you're gonna work it. If you do those two, you're gonna win.
It's like, I need to lock in. I gotta get good at this shit.
If you want it, it's out there for you. You can go ahead and take it. But it's like, you have to be a workhorse to want to do this.
You are aware that how much you need to lock in, though.
Oh, I'm locked in right now, though.
There's only one thing I dread, not to be worthy of my sufferings.
It's how you handle your sufferings. When you're going through something really challenging, how do you show up within it? Do you choose to become a victim of complaining and misery, or do you find meaning in how you show up in the suffering?
If you want what you're chasing, then you'll put the effort into that. It's just called discipline, guys. How bad do you want it?
Get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab.
That's on me. I have to own that moment. I gotta prove to myself I can overcome this, because now everybody else is doubting me, but I can't doubt myself.
It's the unseen work. That is why if people can make up a mission statement, an ethos in which they want to live by, and every morning you wake up, you hold yourself accountable to that mission, not a company's, your own. Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything.
But I think the main thing for me is I want to prove myself right. It's important for me that this battle against myself, I win and I do prove myself that I was right about all these things.
Victor! It's personal! I'll make it personal. It starts with me. And it ends right here. Everything in my life breathes and eats this purpose that I have. Every desire you have, it comes from within. And if there's a desire that comes from within, it means you have the ability to do it. And what happens is when you know what you want, when you understand what you're after, when you know what your outcomes are, when you know what you desire, you wake up every single morning and you go after it.
I mean, speak for yourself. I am locked in.
Listen, if you are one of those individuals that's dedicated to their craft, want to do this, there are things that are going to have to take a back seat. Make sure you're all in. And that was one of Kobe's favorite words when it related to winning. You have to be obsessed with whatever your win is.
There's a choice that we have to make as people, as individuals. If you want to be great
at something. It's a choice that you have to make. We all can be masters at our craft, but you have to make a choice. There are inherent sacrifices that come along with that. Family time, hanging out with your friends, being a great friend. There's sacrifices that come along with making that decision.
Just as important as what are you going to do is what you had to sacrifice for it. Because, you know, if you need to stay late in the office 3 nights a week for the next 6 months so that your boss sees the work that you're doing, or so that you get more sales in, or so that you do whatever it is that you need to do, your trading's probably going to take a hit. Yeah. And when you start to see your condition or your fitness depreciate over time, you can feel uncomfortable and say, oh, well, that shouldn't be happening. And then you take your eye off the ball of the thing that was supposed to be your thing for the next 6 months, and then go, oh, I'll only stay late in the office 1 night a week, and I'll fit training, I'll slot training in 2 more nights. And you go, well, that wasn't the plan. The plan was put everything into this one thing, level myself up, and then play catch up with everything else to bring myself back up to baseline. So yeah, choose in advance what you want to suck at is like a really, really good tactic, because it helps you when other things start to slip. It stops it feeling like an error or a curse of some kind, and actually is like, oh, this is part of the plan. This was actually part of the plan. Part of the plan was I wouldn't get to see my friends as much, or my sleep would suffer, or my fitness would suffer, or my business would suffer because we've just had a kid or whatever. Like, I think that's important.
And that thing that sucks in the moment is not going to suck later on.
You can work to get anything you want, but you have to sacrifice the other things you want to keep it. And that's sometimes harder than the work.
What makes something hard? Like, just in and of itself, like what actually makes something hard? Because habituation happens on both sides. And this is what I think is so fascinating, because it's like, okay, well, you know, I wanted this big thing to happen. I wanted the Rolls Royce. I wanted the Ferrari, whatever. Stayed my whole life, and here I am, right? And I was happy for a week, and then all of a sudden I got used to it, right? So I was like, why can't I habituate to the suck? Right? Why can't I habituate to the suck? And the thing is that you do. The only thing is that what makes the suck keep sucking is what makes punishment effective, which is increasing intensity and variety. And so if you want to effectively punish someone, you can't just keep punishing them the same way. You have to increase intensity and change how you do it. And the beautiful thing is that life doesn't fight fair. And so life will change the intensity and will give you more variety. I mean, how many times have you been like, I didn't know life could suck in this way? So in thinking about that, it was like, okay, I think the reason that the hard persists is because the nature of the currency that you pay or that you exchange, that you want to change this. Because in the very beginning, you basically have to, like, you know, conquer your friends and family who tell you that this might be a bad idea. Okay, fine, you get over that. And then you have to conquer yourself in the most basic level of, like, I have to do something. Okay, so you start taking action, you start learning how to learn stuff, which is learning through failure, and you realize you're not going to die if you fail. It's just that the currency has changed. The currency that I'm paying. And so I'm very happy to pay the long hours currency. I'm very happy to pay the what am I willing to give up in terms of social life. Like that, to me, I've habituated to that price. That's not hard for me. I don't even consider it a sacrifice anymore. Once you learn how to work, the work itself is self-reinforcing and you enjoy it. It's everything else that you didn't know you were going to have to sacrifice so that you could get back to working.
And here it starts. Keep the mind right, the body will follow. Tell the world, get a goal. And then day by day by day, you start to do that goal to make it the reality, guys. It's not guesswork. It's a science of intensity. And if you don't have the intensity, don't become in. Everything in life is worthwhile. Every success in life, guys, is masked by temporary pain. Don't be a wannabe. Want to be more. Want to put the work in.
I knew that I was not going to be stopped. So you can't possibly become better than me because you're not spending the time on it that I do. Even if you want to spend the time on it, you can't. You have other responsibilities that are taking you away from it. So I already won.
You know, greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when they wake up.
I now see anything is possible and that you could train for anything. There's nothing you can't do. You can't be the best in the world at something, but you can be a lot better than you are at anything you want to put the time into learning. Whatever it is, you can do anything. And that's a great feeling.
I think
God, what a great time in history to be alive, because this is a time in history where it's not enough to know. This is really a time in history to know how, and I've been at this long enough to know that 20 years ago, people didn't hear it like they hear it now. The information is readily available, and people are realizing, God, if I have this dream, if I have this goal, how bad do I want it? And if they really want it, you sit down and you say, what would it be like to be super healthy, super wealthy, super in love, whatever it is? Like, you ask that question and your brain gets really creative. It starts getting this vision of the future, this possibility that you actually put yourself in this future reality. So the person comes out of the resting state and they make a decision with such firm intention that the amplitude of that decision carries a level of energy that causes their body to respond to their mind. That their choice that they're making in that moment becomes a moment in time that they would never forget. They'll say to you, I remember the moment I made up my mind to change. And we could say then they're giving their body a taste of the future emotionally, and somehow they begin to embody whatever that future is, and now they begin to move in a different direction.
I'll ask, who wants zero happiness? Nobody raises their hand. All right. I said, who wants zero success? No one raises their hand. All right. And I go, who wants zero life? No one raises their hand. I said, who wants zero love? No one raises their hand. I said, what's the number on a perfectly balanced scale? It's a zero. It's an absolute zero. So I said, if you're trying to balance all those things all the time, you're going to end up with none of them. You're going to end up with none of them. Now, I never want your scale to be tipped all the way this way, but then you have to decide where are things going to be.
But if you want to win, it takes more than a pair of legs, all right? You win up here.
Something has to happen, though, to kick this into gear. And taking the initiative and really jumping on this and taking action, which is going to put you way outside of your comfort zone. The question is, how bad do you want it? Do you want it bad enough to get outside your comfort zone and do things you've never done, become a person you've never been before? If so, then yeah, there's a lot of potential here.
You've talked to the Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants of the business world, and every single one of them, no matter how many times they've done things over and over and over again, there's always been a little bit of fear.
We've been inspired, we've been motivated, but now is your moment, right? Now is your time. Now is the time where the talking is done. Now is the moment where you got to make a decision. And the decision is simply this. Are you ready? Are you ready to start the new chapter? Are you ready to go and build a legacy? Are you ready? Are you ready? And listen to me when I tell you, you got to ask yourself this question. Because what I don't want you to leave just being hyped up. I want you leaving here transformed. Listen, no more stressing. That's it. I'm not about to let you stress anymore. The stress about the new coming year, the stress about going to school, the stress about those grades. I'm not about to let you stress. No, that stress is over. Now is the time for you to stand up. Now is the time for you to make your mark. Now it's time for you to get fueled up. Yeah, I want you to get mad. I want you to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want you to get sick and tired of being average. I want you to get sick and tired of failing over and over again. I want you to get mad. Yeah, I want you to get so mad. I need you to get fired up. Are you ready? Are you ready? Because now is your time.
How bad do you want it? There's two options. To continue forward. And if you do, that dream is given birth. And forever you will live in the reality of it.
Where you can eat shit, dog.
If you stop, quit, throw in the towel, I promise you there's no distance you can travel far enough to find that dream again. How bad do you want it?
Stop being lazy. Make the most of your life right now. It's tough. I know it. It gets even tougher along the way. So I want you to really hold on tight and give it everything you got. Know that there is a chance for you. I need you to really focus on where you want to go in your life. Doesn't doesn't matter what other people think about you. You feel like if you're going too fast, everybody's saying you're going too fast, maybe I should slow down. Or do you really want to slow down? Do you really want to stop bettering yourself? Do you really want to give up on yourself? I mean, don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with patience. But sometimes you can't wait too long. If you're sitting around just waiting, you're going to be waiting a long time. And you have no time for that. Because time is of an essence. And time, as we all know, doesn't wait for anyone. So what are you going to do? Are you just going to sit around? Are you going to just continue to believe that you don't have what it takes? It's time to release the best of you inside right now. Tomorrow has not come yet. Too many people believe in tomorrow, but they don't believe in the now, the right now. You cannot afford to wait to better yourself.
The pain that you will endure along this journey in your life, it's a process.
But keep your head up and stop looking down. I know sorrow comes, anger comes, sadness comes. You feel all of these things putting you in a position where you just don't think you got it. But I believe you do. But you got to believe it too.
I believe it.
So keep on pushing forward. Times are tough. Life is tough. But life is good because you're living right now. And all you need to do is to continue to be the best of yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Don't feel that you're the only one that's hurting, because you're not. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, there are a lot of people out there right now who just don't have it anymore. And they just want to let go. They refuse to hold on. But you gotta hold on. Just know there is a chance for you. Right now, at this moment, there is a chance for you. All you have to do is just continue to go forward.
The obstacles that you will face along the way, that's just the nature of the beast. You can't avoid it, but you can go through it. Your abilities, your drive, the determination that you must have will get you to where you need to be. But you must come to realize that pain is temporary.
Do you have the strength? Do you have the mindset to release this lazy mentality?
What do you have within you? Are you really strong enough to carry on? Put away the doubt. Put away the negativity. Put away the fear. And go after it. Don't look back. What's behind you, leave it there. What's in front of you is your destiny. Every movement, every step, every breath that you take must count for something good. Know that you are going to make it. This is your opportunity. Enough with the excuses. I will be greater than my pain. I will be greater than my excuses. I will be greater than the ground that I run on beneath my feet. For I am above the ground and not under it. Get yourself in the right perspective in life, because there will be many more challenges ahead. And some of these challenges will make you or break you. You can bend, but you do not have the right to be broken. Get up and run with a purpose.
You know better. Now it's time to do better. So keep on pushing forward.
Get it done. Be productive. Be powerful. And from the bottom of my heart, keep it moving. Run hard, run strong, and conduct your business.
Word! Catch you guys later. That was mad right there. Get hard for 2026. Manifest that shit. Let's listen to a manifest.
Drop it in the comments right now. Say, I see it.
I see it.
I see it. I visualize success. I visualize victory. I visualize abundance. I visualize freedom. It's not even a conversation. It's not even a question. I don't care what anybody says. I visualize myself driving what I've been called to drive, living where I've been called to live, giving my family a
Be that guy. He's a be that guy.
Holly, and I'm a smart city agent. You're probably hearing from me because you fill out a form to get help finding an apartment.
For years, empaths have been the world's emotional punching bags, absorbing everyone's pain, staying silent, taking the abuse, being told they're too sensitive, too emotional, too much. But that era is ending right now. Carl Jung predicted this moment, a psychological shift so powerful it would flip the entire social order. The feeler is about to overpower the narcissist. The sensitive are about to dominate the selfish. And if you're an empath, your comeback isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Jung called it the most important psychological evolution of our time. He saw it coming decades ago, a moment when the people who feel everything would finally weaponize their greatest gift. Not by becoming cold, not by shutting down, but by becoming strategically dangerous to anyone who ever tried to exploit them. Here's what Jung understood that most people miss. What happens when the shock absorber becomes the engine? What happens when the person who's been silently observing every lie, every manipulation, every hidden agenda finally decides to use that information? That's not a victim anymore. That's a psychological genius who's been gathering data for years, and the world is about to find out what empaths are really capable of. We live in what psychologists call the age of narcissism, a time when selfishness is rewarded, where manipulation is called strategy, where emotional exploitation is just business as usual. Empaths have been surviving in this world like refugees in enemy territory, constantly drained, constantly overlooked, constantly told their sensitivity is a weakness. But here's what nobody saw coming. Empaths weren't just suffering through this age. They were studying it. Every time someone lied to them, they cataloged the pattern. Every time someone manipulated them, they memorized the technique. Every time someone used them, they learned exactly how predators think. While narcissists were celebrating their short-term wins, empaths were building a complete psychological database of human manipulation. They've spent years in the world's most brutal psychology program, and they're about to graduate with honors. Jung understood something crucial about human development. He called it the law of opposites. When anything reaches its extreme, it transforms into its opposite. Darkness into light, weakness into strength, silence into power. He saw this pattern throughout history, in individuals and entire cultures. The narcissistic age has reached its peak. It's eating itself alive. Society is collapsing under the weight of its own selfishness. And the very qualities that narcissists exploited in empaths are about to become the most valuable skills in human society. Think about what an empath actually is. Someone who can read a room instantly. Who knows when someone is lying before they finish their sentence? Who can sense emotional shifts that others miss completely? Who understands human motivation at levels most people never reach? Who feels the unspoken tension that everyone else ignores? Who picks up on micro-expressions that reveal true intentions? This isn't weakness. This is advanced psychological intelligence. The only reason it looked like weakness was because empaths were using it defensively, trying to keep the peace, trying to help everyone, trying to absorb all the pain so others wouldn't have to feel it. They turned their superpower into a service industry. They became emotional janitors, cleaning up everyone else's psychological mess. They became human shields, protecting others from consequences. They became translators, explaining toxic people to hurt people and hurt people to toxic people. And the whole time, they were undervaluing the rarest skill set in human psychology. But something is shifting right now in empaths all over the world. Jung predicted this moment with eerie accuracy. He studied what happens when someone is pushed past their breaking point. Not the breaking point where they collapse, the breaking point where they transform. He had a term for it, enantiodromia. The concept is simple. When pressure builds to an extreme, the psyche doesn't break, it reverses. It becomes the opposite of what it was. The gentle become fierce, the giving becomes selective, the open become boundaried. The empath who spent years being nice is about to become real. The person who absorbed everyone's...
I like that. Real. I'm fixing to become real.
emotions is about to set boundaries like steel walls. The individual who stayed silent to keep the peace is about to speak truth that shatters illusions. The people pleaser who twisted themselves into pretzels for approval is about to stand so firmly in their own truth that they become unmovable. This isn't a breakdown, this is psychological emergence. The birth of the complete self. Here's where it gets interesting. That shadow side that empaths have been suppressing their entire lives. The anger, the boundaries, the refusal to tolerate manipulation, the ability to cut people off without guilt, the capacity to say no without explanation, the willingness to prioritize themselves over others' comfort, the readiness to let people face consequences, the strength to watch someone struggle without rescuing them. That's not the enemy. That's the missing half of their power. Most empaths were taught to fear their shadow, told that anger makes them bad, that boundaries make them selfish, that protecting themselves makes them no better than narcissists, that prioritizing their needs is the same as narcissistic self-absorption. So they buried those qualities deep. They became half people, all light, no darkness, all giving, no taking, all sensitivity, no strength, all absorption, no reflection. But you can't have a coin with only one side. You can't have a battery with only a positive charge. And you can't have a complete human being with only the soft qualities. Jung spent his entire career trying to get people to understand this. Integration, wholeness, the union of opposites. He called it the most important work a human can do. The empath's comeback isn't about becoming a narcissist. It's about becoming complete, adding the missing half. The shadow isn't evil. It's protection. It's strength. It's the part of you that knows when to fight instead of flee, when to speak instead of silence, when to cut instead of heal, when to prioritize yourself instead of sacrificing for others.
Right.
And here's what makes this absolutely devastating to narcissists and manipulators. An empath with integrated shadow is unstoppable. They have all the perceptive abilities they always have had. They still see through lies. They still read people instantly. They still understand emotional dynamics better than anyone. They still feel the energy in a room. They still pick up on what's not being said. But now they're not trying to fix it. They're not trying to help the narcissist heal. They're not sacrificing themselves to keep the peace. They're not taking responsibility for other people's emotions. They're using their abilities strategically to protect themselves, to build the life they actually want, to remove anyone who can't match their energy. If this resonates with you, take a moment to like this video and comment below with where you are in your own integration process. Your transformation matters. Think of the empath cuts contact without guilt or second guessing. The toxic family member tries the same old manipulation. The empath enforces boundaries that would have seemed impossible a year ago. The friend who only calls when they need something gets sent to voicemail permanently. The romantic partner who plays games gets replaced before
That'd be this guy. Me.
They even realize they've been playing alone. This is the comeback. Not revenge, not becoming what hurt them, but becoming too psychologically advanced to be hurt by those tactics again. Narcissists and manipulators have been winning because empaths were playing by rules that guaranteed they'd lose. Be nice, give second chances, see the good in everyone, sacrifice yourself for others, turn the other cheek, go the extra mile, be the bigger person. Those aren't universal truths. Those are control mechanisms. And empaths are waking up to that reality. They're realizing that being nice to people who don't deserve it isn't kindness, it's self-betrayal. That giving second chances to people who haven't earned them isn't mercy, it's enabling. That seeing the good in everyone while they're actively hurting you isn't wisdom, it's delusion. That sacrificing yourself for others who wouldn't do the same isn't noble, it's a pattern that needs to break. But the comeback isn't just personal, it's structural. Society itself is shifting in a way that favors exactly what empaths offer. For decades, we rewarded dominance, aggression, the loudest voice in the room, the person willing to step on others, the one who showed no emotion, the individual who treated people like resources. That worked in a simple world, in manufacturing economies, in hierarchical structures, in systems built on compliance and control. But we don't live in a simple world anymore. We live in a connected, complex, emotionally intelligent world. The economy runs on relationships, on trust, on collaboration, on innovation that requires psychological safety, on customer experience that depends on genuine connection. And the skills that matter now are exactly the skills empaths have been developing their entire lives. Emotional intelligence, and the ability to read people, understanding group dynamics, sensing what's not being said, building genuine connections, creating environments where people feel safe, knowing what someone needs before they ask, reading the subtext in every interaction, understanding motivation at deep levels. These aren't soft skills anymore. They're the most valuable skills in business, leadership, relationships, and society. The world is finally catching up to what empaths have always known. Emotions aren't distractions from logic. They're data, they're information, they're intelligence that most people can't access. Companies are starting to realize that the aggressive leader who gets short-term results burns out teams and destroys culture. That the narcissistic CEO who looks good on paper creates toxic environments that kill innovation. That the manager who rules by fear loses their best people. Leaders who can read the room, who understand what people need, who build loyalty instead of fear, who create cultures where people actually want to contribute. That's an empath with integrated shadow. Not weak, not a pushover, but emotionally intelligent and strategically powerful. Relationships are shifting too. People are tired of surface-level connections, tired of game playing, tired of emotional manipulation, tired of partners who can't communicate, tired of friends who only show up when it's convenient, tired of family dynamics built on guilt and obligation. They want real. They want depth. They want someone who actually sees them, who understands them without lengthy explanations, who can hold space for complexity, who doesn't run from difficult emotions. That's what empaths do naturally. But now they're doing it with boundaries, with standards, with the willingness to walk away from anything less than genuine. Even culture is changing. We're questioning the systems that rewarded narcissism, calling out manipulation, valuing authenticity, creating spaces for emotional honesty, rejecting the fake positivity and toxic productivity. The pendulum swung so far toward selfishness that it's snapping back hard. And when it settles, empaths are going to be standing exactly where the world needs them. Jung saw this coming. He understood that history moves in cycles, that what's suppressed eventually rises, that what's undervalued eventually becomes precious, that consciousness evolves through individuals before it shifts in the collective. Empaths have been underground for so long that people forgot they were there, forgot what they're capable of, forgot that sensitivity combined with strength is the most dangerous combination in human psychology. The fully realized empath is something the world hasn't seen before, at least not in large numbers. Imagine someone with the perception to read you completely, who knows when you're lying, who senses your intentions before you act, who understands your patterns better than you understand them yourself, who can predict your next move based on patterns you don't even know you're repeating. But instead of using that ability to help you or fix you or absorb your pain, they use it to decide if you're worth their energy, and if you're not, you're gone. No second chances, no explanations, no 3-hour conversations trying to make you understand, just strategic removal. They don't announce their power. They don't need to prove anything. They don't post about their boundaries on social media. They don't make grand statements about cutting people off. Their presence is different now. Grounded, unshakable. There's a quiet intensity that makes people nervous if they have something to hide and comfortable if they're genuine. They ask direct questions. They don't dance around uncomfortable truths. They don't laugh at jokes that aren't funny to keep the mood light. They don't perform emotion they don't feel. They don't pretend to be interested in conversations that bore them. This makes narcissists and manipulators deeply uncomfortable. Their tactics don't work anymore. The empath doesn't take the bait, doesn't get defensive when accused, doesn't try to prove themselves when questioned, doesn't need validation when criticized, doesn't chase when given the silent treatment. The manipulator's greatest weapons are useless against someone who's psychologically complete. You can't guilt someone who's integrated their shadow. You can't manipulate someone who sees your patterns clearly. You can't drain someone who's learned to protect their energy. You can't control someone who's willing to walk away. The comeback empath commands respect without demanding it. They don't need to fight for their worth because they know it. They don't need to convince anyone because they're not selling anything. They're not trying to be liked by everyone because they understand that being genuine means some people won't like you. And they're completely fine with that. Better than fine. They prefer it. They'd rather be disliked for who they are than loved for who they're pretending to be. This is what Jung meant by individuation. Becoming so full of yourself that other people's opinions become background noise. Here's what this looks like in real life. Toxic family members who used to drain them for hours get one-sentence boundaries. No more 3-hour phone calls processing someone else's drama. No more hosting holidays for people who don't respect them. No more explaining their choices to people who won't understand anyway. Friends who only called when they needed something get distance without drama. No confrontation, no explanation. Just a quiet fade that protects the empath's peace. Romantic partners who played games get replaced by people who match their emotional maturity. No more dating potential. No more fixing broken people. No more staying because of history. No more giving chance after chance to people who show you exactly who they are. Workplaces that exploited their empathy get left for environments that value their skills. No more working twice as hard for half the recognition. No more being the emotional support for the entire office. No more sacrificing boundaries for corporate culture. And through all of it, no guilt, no second guessing. No wondering if they're being too harsh. No questioning if they should give one more chance. Just clear decisions based on clear values. This is the power of integration. When you're whole, you don't need external validation for your choices. The empath's comeback isn't loud. It's not about proving anything to the people who hurt them. It's not revenge or vindication. It's something much more powerful. It's indifference. The narcissist who used to occupy their thoughts gets forgotten. The manipulator who used to trigger them becomes irrelevant. The systems that exploited them lose their power because the empath has moved on to a completely different level of psychological development. They're playing a different game now, one the narcissist doesn't even know exists. This is your psychological destiny if you choose to accept it. Not a fairy tale, not wishful thinking, but the natural result of integrating everything you've experienced. Every time you were used, you learned how users operate. Every time you were lied to, you developed lie detection abilities that would impress a professional interrogator. Every time you absorbed someone's pain, you built psychological strength that most people will never develop. Every time you stayed silent, you gathered data that's now a complete reference library of human manipulation. You didn't waste those years. You were in training, and the training is almost complete. Jung believed that every psychological pattern has a purpose. That suffering builds capacity. That sensitivity is intelligence. That the qualities you thought were weaknesses were actually advanced features you hadn't learned to use correctly. Your empathy isn't a flaw in your design. It's an upgrade that most people don't have. The ability to feel what others feel, to read what others miss, to understand what others ignore. That's not a bug, that's a feature. You've been running advanced software on outdated programming, trying to be nice in a world that rewards real, trying to help everyone in a system designed for self-protection, trying to absorb pain in an age that creates it constantly. But you're updating the programming now, adding the missing code, integrating the shadow, building boundaries, learning to use your abilities strategically instead of defensively. And when that process completes, you become something the world desperately needs. Someone who can see clearly and act powerfully, who can read people accurately and choose wisely, who can feel deeply and protect fiercely, who can love genuinely and walk away cleanly. The age that tried to break you actually built you. The narcissists who used you actually trained you. The pain you absorbed actually strengthened you. The silence you kept actually taught you. You've been gathering intelligence in enemy territory for years, learning their tactics, understanding their weaknesses, seeing through their masks, memorizing their patterns. And now you're ready to use everything you've learned, not to destroy them, but to build a life they can't touch, a psychological fortress they can't penetrate, a level of wholeness they can't comprehend. This is the empath's comeback, not becoming what hurt you, but becoming too complete to be hurt by it again. Not seeking revenge on narcissists, but becoming irrelevant to their games, not trying to change the system, but operating at a level where the system can't reach you. You're not entering their world anymore. You're building your own, with your standards, your boundaries, your values, your energy, and only people who match that frequency get access. The world is watching. even if it doesn't realize it yet. Empaths everywhere are having this same awakening, integrating their shadows, setting boundaries, using their abilities strategically, removing toxic people without guilt, building lives based on authenticity instead of people-pleasing. And as more empaths complete this transformation, the entire social structure shifts. The tactics that worked for narcissists stop working. The systems that exploited empathy start failing. The culture that rewarded manipulation starts crumbling. Jung predicted this shift because he understood psychological law. What's suppressed must eventually surface. What's undervalued must eventually rise. What's exploited must eventually revolt. Not with violence, not with chaos, but with transformation. The empaths aren't coming for revenge. They're coming into their power, and that's infinitely more dangerous to systems built on exploitation. Your comeback isn't something you need to force. It's already happening. Every boundary you set, every toxic person you remove, every time you choose yourself over someone else's comfort, every moment you speak truth instead of staying silent, every instance you trust your perception instead of doubting it, every decision to walk away instead of fix, you're already transforming. The only question is whether you'll do it consciously or unconsciously, whether you'll embrace the process or fight it, whether you'll integrate your shadow or continue suppressing it. If you're ready for your comeback, you already know it. You feel it in your body. The exhaustion with being nice to people who don't deserve it. The anger at years of being undervalued. The clarity about who needs to go. The certainty about what you will and won't accept anymore. The readiness to prioritize yourself. The willingness to be misunderstood. That's not bitterness. That's not you becoming cold. That's integration. That's wholeness. That's the missing half of your power finally emerging. The empath's biggest comeback isn't beating the narcissists at their own game. It's leaving the game entirely, building something better, creating spaces where manipulation doesn't work, developing relationships based on genuine connection, constructing a life where your sensitivity is strength and your boundaries are unbreakable, where you use your gifts consciously and protect your energy fiercely, where you're complete. Every empath who completes this journey makes it easier for the next one. Every person who integrates their shadow shifts the collective consciousness. Every individual who becomes psychologically whole contributes to humanity's evolution. The transformation is quiet. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't seek recognition. It simply is. And in that being, it changes everything.
Hello.
Do you want to play with me?
Sure. You want me to help you with your groceries?
Yeah.
This journey with childhood cancer comes at you in waves. Every day we wake up knowing that our 2-year-old has cancer. It's tough to get through.